My sister gave my wedding dress to Goodwill while I was on my honeymoon. She said it was an accident. The receipt said otherwise. I came back from 2 weeks in Greece with a tan and the kind of happiness that makes everything feel possible. Ryan and I drove to my mom's house to pick up things we'd stored there before the trip, including my wedding dress. I'd spent 14 months finding that dress. Ivory silk with hand-sewn beading and a cathedral train that made me cry the first time I tried it on. I was going to preserve it, maybe pass it down someday. Mom opened the door with a strange expression on her face. My sister Madison was on the couch behind her, refusing to make eye contact. I asked where my dress was, and the silence told me everything and nothing at the same time. Madison stood up with her hands clasped like she was bracing for impact. There was an accident, she said. I was helping Mom clean the garage and there were bags for donation. I grabbed the wrong one. I didn't realize until it was already gone. My legs went weak. Gone. I asked which Goodwill. Franklin Street. I asked when. 3 days ago. I asked why my dress was anywhere near a donation bag. She said Mom must have stored it wrong, that it was dark in the garage, that everything happened fast. She was crying by the end. Real tears streaming down her face. She said she was so sorry. She'd do anything to fix it, that she felt horrible. I wanted to scream, but she looked so broken I just stood there letting Ryan hold me up. Mom kept apologizing too. The whole thing felt like a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. I drove to Goodwill the next morning hoping for a miracle. The manager said items get processed within 24 hours. High-value items like wedding dresses sell the same day they're displayed. Mine was already gone. I started crying in the middle of the store. She offered to print the donation receipt for insurance purposes. I said yes without really thinking. She handed me a single sheet of paper and my whole world stopped making sense. The donation was dated June 14th. My wedding was June 16th. Madison donated my dress 2 days before I even walked down the aisle, and it wasn't listed as a mystery bag or miscellaneous items. It was itemized specifically. Wedding dress, ivory, beaded bodice, cathedral train. Estimated value, $4,200. She knew exactly what she was donating. She wrote down the details herself. She did it before my wedding even happened. I drove to Madison's apartment without calling first. Held up the receipt when she opened the door. Watched the color drain from her face as she read the date. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then something shifted in her expression. The guilt melted away, and something harder took its place. You weren't supposed to find that, she said quietly. I asked why. Why she would plan this, execute it, lie about it, cry fake tears in our mother's living room. She laughed, but there was no humor in it. Do you know what it's been like watching you this past year? The perfect proposal, the perfect ring, the perfect venue. Everyone talking about your big day while I'm still explaining why Derek left me. Her voice was shaking now. I was supposed to get married first. I was engaged for 2 years while you were still single. Then he leaves, and 6 months later you're showing off your diamond like the universe just handed you everything I lost. I told her that wasn't my fault, that I never tried to compete with her. She shook her head. You didn't have to try. That's the whole point. Everything comes easy to you. I just wanted you to lose one thing you couldn't get back. She said it so matter-of-factly, like destroying something irreplaceable was a reasonable response to her own pain. Like my happiness was an offense she had every right to punish. I looked at my sister and realized I'd never known her at all. The girl I grew up with had been keeping score this whole time. Every milestone I celebrated was a wound she never mentioned. I left without another word, blocked her number in my car, sent Mom a photo of the receipt and said I wouldn't attend any family event Madison was at. Mom tried to mediate for weeks, said Madison was struggling, needed help, that family should forgive. I told her the date on that receipt proved this wasn't a mental health crisis. It was cruelty with a plan. My dress is gone forever. Some stranger owns it now. I have photos from the wedding, but nothing to pass down, nothing to hold in my hands decades from now. And remember how I felt walking toward Ryan. Madison took that from me deliberately and smiled through my entire ceremony knowing what she'd already done. I'm not angry anymore. Anger would mean I still care about her. What I feel now is something quieter and more permanent. I had a sister for 31 years. Now I just have a receipt that proves I never really did.